I've always felt like in a lot of different ways that Apple actually kind of hated the iPhone 14s. Now, what do I even mean by this? Well, if we think back to 2022, when these particular iPhones were actually made, these devices actually had some very interesting stuff kind of going within them. Now, you have to remember, one of the biggest things that I remember back in 2022, when there were so many leaks and rumors coming around for the iPhone 14, was essentially this little specific thing, which was these iPhones were going to have the same chipset as the iPhone 13s. Now, this in and of itself was, in my opinion, a very annoying thing, because before this, we essentially were getting the next generation of chipsets in all the phones that were ever basically created. Now it's looking like, for the most part, Apple didn't really want to do this anymore, and they wanted to go ahead and kind of discontinue those older, habits they had. And in a way, I think they were really happy that they could do this. But I think they had to go ahead and kind of, throw kind of one iPhone under the bus and give it the same chipset as the previous iPhone. And for the most part, Apple pretty much did that with the iPhone 14. I don't really think they cared about it that much. So they were just like, hey, we'll just throw a little bit more RAM in here. But for the most part, it's going to be the exact same phone as before, as far as we could tell. But that also stemmed down to the whole entire body of the iPhone 14 as well. That was the first iPhone in several generations where Apple really didn't change anything on the exterior either. Maybe like a new color change or something like that. But when you take a look at almost every single iPhone before that, stemming from the iPhone 6, they kind of did change some, things on the outside. Like with the 6S, they gave us, maybe a little bit of a newer color. They gave us, Touch ID 2, and, it was the last iPhone to have a headphone jack. The 7 changed the design with the removal of the headphone jack. The 8 brought a glass back. The 10 even, changed it up a lot. The 10R changed things up, IPS panel. The 11 changed things up. Like every single generation changed, I would say, something. The 14 really didn't change anything. So Apple really was just completely throwing this iPhone under the bus. They really didn't care about this iPhone at all at that moment, I think. So they could kind of, shift the people from buying something like the iPhone 14 over to buying something like the iPhone 14 Pro. I think that's where Apple shifted a lot of their attention on and wanted people to go and buy that type of iPhone rather than something like the iPhone 14 at that time. Now, looking forward, I'm not really 100% too sure what Apple's strategy is going forward. Like, are they going to go ahead and basically continue, are they going to make it last as long as the iPhone 15? Are they going to make it last as long as the iPhone 13? I'm not really too sure. But one thing I do know is if I could go back in time and look at one iPhone that Apple kind of just threw in and was just kind of as a placeholder, this is probably one of those iPhones that, for just the base model iPhone 14 was somewhat of a placeholder where they focused basically all their attention on the 14 Pro. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.